of our students, our communities, and our country. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Shape the future. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
After I got out of the Marine Corps, coming back home, it was just a mental breakdown for me. I was on the verge of giving up. That chapter, that season in my life was over. Now what? Who was I? That's what I kept asking myself. The pressure to have it all together, to heal, to quiet down the monsters inside, it was too much. I lost it. I had heard about the Wounded Warrior Project. I had seen the logo and that visual of a warrior carrying another warrior. The programs that the Wounded Warrior Project offers, it's not just the veteran themselves, it's their whole family. It brings it all together. We have scars that we carry, and just because the scars are there doesn't mean that we're any less than what we were. Right now, I'm the best version that I ever have been of myself. I can embrace the brokenness.
You wouldn't go into battle alone. You don't have to fight this alone. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/notalone.
Corey and Zach lingered in foster care for years, longing for a permanent place to call home. They lost hope.
I felt alone in the world. I didn't feel loved. Every day felt like a lost cause. I thought, who would want to adopt an older child?
I thought, I'm going to end up on the streets. That's just how it's going to be.
Thankfully, Corey and Zach's journey changed when they were adopted with help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
It's really difficult to wonder how you're going to make it. I'm not going to have that problem now. I just won't. Because I have a family.
Today, Corey and Zach have bright futures. But every year, thousands of youth age out of foster care with no permanent family and no safety net. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
WWDB 860 AM Philadelphia and WPEN HD2 Burlington, Philadelphia. The following programming is sponsored by the Fishtown, Kensington Area Business Improvement District. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of this station, its management, or Beasley Media Group.
Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy.
There we go. God bless technology. Good morning, everybody. And my God, it's a beautiful morning today. Everybody, get your butts out of bed. The sun is shining somewhere, but it's always shining here at on 8 a.m. on Wednesdays on WWDB 860 AM because it's your daily dose of fun and happy and joy. Find it at Fishtown Live here, brought to you by the fabulous Fishtown District. For everything super happy, fun, I got to tell you something. I know I'm going to get more with it as we go. I think the weather's affecting us today.
Definitely.
But everything fantastic. Where everything is sunny. You can find it in the fabulous Fishtown District. And here to tell more about it, the Bert to my Ernie, the Katniss to my Peeta.
I don't know that one.
That's from the Hunger Games.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever watch the Hunger Games?
I think I saw one of them.
Because you want to teach your young teenage children how important it is for them to annihilate each other in a competition.
Right. It felt a little too Lord of the Flies for me.
Oh, very much is. Except I liked her. I liked Jennifer Lawrence. I would be on her team. I don't know that she would want me because I would definitely be like an anchor. Like I'd be the first to get killed. But anyway, good morning, Kay.
Good morning, Mark.
How are you today? Like, do you feel peppy?
No.
Like, it's hard in this. Like, it's
very difficult.
Blech.
Yeah. Even our crowd outside is dwindling this morning because they're all wet.
Well, they're huddled inside.
Right.
Understand something. Yeah, it's very hard. I know everybody's coming down off the high of listening to Bloomin' in the Garden.
Of course.
Because today was about slugs.
Yes.
And by the way, it kind of fits with the weather, because don't slugs come out when it rains?
That's my understanding.
Matt, you're an agronomist. Is that what happens?
I'm a what?
Exactly.
What'd you call me?
An agronomist. Gesundheit.
Can you spell that?
It's someone who is like with agriculture. You toil the land.
In high school, I did take one class from FFA or something, Future Farmers of America.
Did you?
Yeah, and I got somebody cut me with some pruning shears, so I said, I'm done with this.
So at some point, did you say to yourself, like, I hope to be a future farmer of America?
Not even a little bit.
Because you do kind of keep farmers' hours. You're up very early, coming here to prepare the blooming in the garden. Then, of course, us.
Yeah, well,
there's a theme, isn't there?
Brett does bloomers in the garden.
Is that bloomers?
Yeah, it's bloomers.
Doesn't blooming in the garden make more sense?
No, but it's bloomers because they're baby boomers and they're blooming.
I don't think that's what it is.
I don't know.
That's how it made sense in my head.
I don't think that's what it is. Can you get them on the phone?
Yeah, let me
yeah,
try.
I'd like to. If you guys, by the way, if you want to be part of this playful banter, give us a call here on the Find It at Fishtown Live hotline. We actually have a hotline at 888-329-3306. That's 888-329-3306. Kay, if people want to find out more about the fabulous Fishtown district, see, this is like you could do this in your sleep.
I think I could.
Where can they go?
They can go to fishtowndistrict.com.
And we have many social media platforms, including how you can watch and see the magic that is this show. How can people do that?
They can go to our Facebook page at Fishtown District or find us on YouTube, Fishtown District.
And you know what's funny, getting back to the awful weather, and again, we do appreciate our loyal fans sitting outside with their umbrellas and their rain slickers and ponchos. Thank you all. It's because of you is why Kay and I do this.
Absolutely.
We'd be still sleeping.
That's
Actually, it's 8 o'clock. We would not be at work. Well, that's not true. We're always working for the Fishtown District.
In our
we
sleep
never
even.
stop.
Yep.
We give and give. We're like sponges. Just when you think you've wrung us all dry, you squeeze us some more. And I mean that sincerely.
Wow.
But Kay,
Yep.
so the weather sort of fits. I don't know how you were back when you had to go to school, but I did not wake, like yesterday was the first day of school for Philadelphia Public Schools. So
Sure
it was really
was.
their first day back in a classroom since 1977. So it's been a while. And I know that I hated, to this day, I still feel like crap around the first day of school, though I haven't been in school in many, many years. Like I worry, like my son's going into his senior year.
Mm-hmm.
He handles it far better than me. He don't want to go because he kind of he'd wake up, do his little online school, play the guitar, watch movies. It was a good day. Now he's got to get up early and
Right.
go. And I
Be in
hated
person.
school. School hated me. That's why when it's like summertime, like when it's that last day of school, it's one of my favorite days still.
See, you got to remember, my birthday was always the first week of school. So my birthday week and the first week of school, you got to be excited at that point.
I don't want to minimize this. It's Rosh Hashanah,
Yes.
the Jewish New Year.
Of course.
I think it's very important to know that as Moses turns the calendar, we also celebrate Kay.
Exactly.
Matt,
It's
how do
very
you
important.
celebrate Kay's birthday? Thank you so much for that. So, and this is a big birthday for you, by the way.
It
this year.
is 3-0. I'm excited.
And how are you going to celebrate this besides, as we Jewish people will be doing with matzo ball soup and brisket? And by the way, it's not, we all eat matzo ball soup. This is not the holiday to eat that.
Mm-mm.
We just sort of take one food and we eat it on every Jewish holiday.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys do
Because
that.
it's delicious.
Yeah, if it's good, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. We found something and we stuck with it. We are persistent people. That's how we got across the desert.
Very into tradition.
Think
too.
about it.
Yeah.
You would have whiny kids like me, again, like at day 29, walking across, like enough. Like, this is a lot for me. Like, I would have been left back. Like, let the Pharaoh keep him.
Let the Pharaoh keep him.
Yeah, so this weather, like, kind of fits the first day of school for me.
Okay.
Like, dreary, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to be there. June seems so very far away.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up every day. Thank goodness I don't have to take a test. And believe me, Kay will
I can
tell
tell
you.
you're still haunted.
I'm was telling our Southampton correspondent, Randy, who's diligently listening at home.
Of course.
The one segment we could never make happen here on Finding the Fishtown Live. Let's get rowdy with Randy. She just couldn't get rowdy.
I mean, to be fair, it's 8 a.m. Nobody really wants to get rowdy.
Matt nails it each and every day.
Let's get rowdy.
That's right. ROWDIE. Mark Alazzo. That's still the greatest of all time. But did you like school, Kay? Did you like going back?
Yeah, I enjoyed school. I was a athlete in school.
I think you need to put M before athlete to tell the truth.
I was also a mathlete.
There you go.
Yeah, I did both.
See, I was like, I didn't hit my stride till really college. Then I became me, and to the delight of planet Earth.
Right,
you know?
Of course.
So then I loved college, even law school, like that.
See, I didn't like college.
Loved college. Loved Temple, T for Temple U. Give a shout out.
Hey,
Loved every minute of it.
I liked the education I received in college, but like the social life of college, I had already had a better social life in high school. So going to a small college like Haverford, it wasn't exciting.
Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed it. But anyway, so, Kay, what are your big plans for your birthday?
So it's Made in America Festival this weekend, so I might
will
go to that.
Not be at that.
Yeah, I might stop by that. I'm excited. I want to go to Topgolf for the first time.
That's awesome.
So next Tuesday, I think I'm going to go to Topgolf and hang out and hit some golf balls, let off some steam. I heard they have like an Angry Birds golf game, which I'm interested to see. I don't think I have that much aim with golf, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, no, I mean, the key is, the good part is you're just hitting it into a screen.
Right.
I mean, they do have the big outdoor parts as well.
Oh.
Yeah. I think if you mix booze and swinging a metal club, it can only lead to magic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Again, bloomers in the garden. So, Kay, I think this just leads us perfectly to, because every day is your birthday in the magical land known as Kay's Corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
Nobody.
Listen to me now. Pay attention, honey.
Kay's Corner.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Every time I like it. So as always, we have a lot going on over here in Kay's Corner. It's a little dreary today, and you probably don't want to go outside, but we do have some great things coming up this weekend. If you didn't know, it is First Friday in the Fishtown district.
What?
Exactly. So, Mark, if you didn't know, First Friday is a great time to visit all of the wonderful businesses in the Fishtown district and get a chance to see some local artists have their artwork displayed at the same time. So if you check out our Facebook page, I'm sure you can see a bunch of wonderful things that are happening this Friday for First Friday.
I like to see, because I think it was a tradition that kind of started in Center City. Mm-hmm. I know Fishtown had done it before, years before I got there. So I like to see, especially with that, we have a very big artist contingent there. We have galleries. I like to see that continues, and also that we may be doing something special in October. That's what we call a tease, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Slight tease. So in addition to First Friday, on Monday, besides being my birthday, which is,
yes,
a national holiday, we also have an awesome food truck festival happening in the neighborhood. So if you check out Evil Genius's social media page, you can find out more information about that. It will be on Front Street between Cecil B. Moore and Palmer Street. In front of Evil Genius, we'll have at least 6 trucks out there with a variety of different food. You can always grab wonderful beer with silly names from Evil Genius. But check it out.
I love Lamp. I know that's one from from Anchorman. That's
Adulting
a good one.
is one that I drink quite often.
And I got to give Kay her her props. Last week we had our first bazaar under the L.
Yes.
Again, right by Evil Genius. Kay, you knocked it out of the ballpark.
Thank you.
And I liked that the vendors there. And there were lots of food, lots of different types of tchotchkes, as we call it, but not really. But they were kind of eclectic. They were not the normal things you would see at a night market or anything like that. So I know people love the pickles.
Yes.
Yeah,
the pickles
it
did
made me
well.
want to enjoy pickles.
You don't enjoy pickles?
I don't like pickles.
Oh, I love
That's
pickles.
not for me.
I got the horseradish ones to take home. Man. See? Right? Thanks, Matt.
That's also what Rowdy Randy got.
The horseradish ones?
Yeah.
Oh.
When she lets it go, boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Let me find out. But anyway, so we do have another, speaking of the Under the L Bazaar, that is going to be a monthly series. So we have our next one coming up on September 30th. Vendor sign up just opened up yesterday. So if you go to our website, fishtowndistrict.com, you can find our vendor sign up under the events menu.
Awesome. I think I'll be there.
And then I know that we have one more event coming up in the next couple of weeks that Mark is extremely excited about. Our Eagles tailgate.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's awesome. Well, it's that time of year. See, I think what God does is you hated the beginning of school, but I'm going to put the beginning of the Eagle season right near it to make up for it. So this is all September 12th. Okay, tell us what's in store.
So you can check out Evil Genius again, but we will be taking over the street with some huge screens to watch the big game on. Mark's showing off his tie-dye eagle hat, if you couldn't see it. So we'll be outside watching the game. We're going to be tailgating from 11 a.m. to 1, and then the game kicks off. And then we'll be out there watching the Eagles game, and then I think the screens will stay up for the game afterwards as well.
And I want to make sure our guests come, besides for all the normal fun and frolic that we have in the Fishtown district. We're also going to be doing the Rowdy Randy tackling drill, where you'll actually be able to, we put a ball in her hand, and you actually can tackle her. And by the way,
I don't think our liability...
Shout out to Randy for she volunteered it.
Oh, God.
But I think that's not... It's good for the kids.
I think our workman's comp insurance is
let
calling.
Let them know the technique. It's good. It's good to let people get it out. So, thank you for that, Rowdy Randy.
Oh, thank you, Randy.
Yeah, she's. You know what?
Does she know that she signed up for that?
She
already?
volunteered it.
I find that hard to
listen.
believe.
I would never think of anything like that.
Oh,
my first
of course
thought was
you wouldn't.
her safety, but she's like, "No, man. You got to. Sometimes these were her words. You have to lay the wood." And I thought that was so
I'm
inappropriate.
pretty sure she did not say that.
That I had to stop that. But 888-329-3306. That's 888-329-3306. Back to Kay's Corner.
Oh, man. I feel like it's probably just time to get into Kay's track.
Yes.
K-Track. 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 K-Track of the week.
So we just definitely got a text from Rowdy Randy.
She's like, her answer was, heck yeah.
That is not what
Thank
it said.
you, Randy. We look forward to it.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
So,
What do
Kay's
we have
track.
today?
Yeah.
I got my dancing shoes on.
Good. So, as you know, to this point, I was trying to add it up in the car this morning. I think that we have booked at least 13 shows this summer alone.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
So I'm at the point now. Thank you. So I'm at
What
the
was that
point
again?
now.
What was that sound effect?
Awesome.
I'm at the point now where I'm going through my Rolodex a little bit and trying to, bring some new sounds.
You know what a Rolodex is?
Yeah, it's a figure of speech, Matt. I'm not that.
She did.
Yeah.
By the way, she watched Back to the Future.
I did.
All three of them.
How was it?
All three
I
of them.
enjoyed them.
We told you.
I
Great
definitely.
movies.
You see, I'm wearing Calvin Klein today. Like I'm with it now.
They have this new Netflix series. It's called The Movies That Made Us, and it's behind the scenes and all that type of stuff. And one of them's Back to the Future and how they filmed it. How Michael J. Fox wasn't the original Marty McFly when they started filming it, and it's pretty cool.
Who was the original Marty McFly? Eddie Murphy.
No. Oh, I can't remember. It's the guy that played Rocky Dennis in Mask.
Oh, Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz, yeah, but he took it too serious. He wasn't good. It would have been horrible with him in it, but it's interesting. You should watch it. Sorry, Kay.
Good job, man. See? This is why it's the best in infotainment.
And I do not work for Netflix.
That's important to put in there. He wasn't paid by them.
No.
But anyway, so our track this week, I was going through my Rolodex, Mark.
I'm sorry.
I was going through my Rolodex and I found this band that I had actually booked previously for a show that ended up getting rained out. And this is I have this like rating system for all of my musical acts that I think about booking. Mm-hmm. And these guys got the highest marks on my list.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this is Basmati Vice, not rice.
Oh,
Vice.
that's what I thought you said.
No, it's a play. You get it. The pun.
I had that for dinner.
Exactly. But this is Basmati Vice with Exponential. That was Basmati Vice.
They're very, very good. I don't know what type of music would you call that?
I just call them rock. Maybe a little bit of like a psychedelic funk influence.
I like that. And especially I like that because I got the headphones that worked. Mm-hmm. See, America didn't know that I couldn't hear part of the show while I was going. That's because I'm a true professional, and I only listen. And that I only listen to me talk. But well done, Kay. You have literally batted 1,000 with every track of the week.
I really need to make a playlist. It's
seriously,
that point. Yeah.
Can we do that, Matt? And of course, sell it.
I have part of one. The one episode that you sent in that you did live. There's a lot of gap, so I made a Kay's track of the week mix to fill the gap at the end. So obviously, you don't listen to your podcast, so you didn't know, but.
I like that.
I live it. I live it each and every day. I don't know that I have to.
Our
but we could throw a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
We could throw a bunch of stuff together and make a mix.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we definitely should, and well done. And let's book them for something.
Yeah, they're like I said, they're next up on my list of bands that I really want to book soon because I want to see them perform live. I think they're going to be great.
And by the way, I know we have a guest waiting, and we got to play America's favorite game show. But
we sure do.
This was like Fishtown District got a lot of media play this week. I don't know if you saw that.
It did.
Between Chew Noodle Bar
on
was
Fox
on
29
for their hoagie egg rolls.
Yeah, Italian hoagie egg rolls. That is
say that again. Nail that.
Italian hoagie egg rolls.
Very
there we go.
Philly, very fusiony. I definitely have to try that.
Yeah.
Because first of all, if you deep fry anything, it's fabulous.
And especially the meats that are in Italian hoagies, typically, like those are definitely the types of meats that if you throw a little fry on them,
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm into it. Fried salami,
and that's why my doctor prescribed Lipitor for. So that to me is really a license to eat whatever I want, contrary to what he says. And also the grand opening of Izakaya by Yanaga, which we had the pleasure of visiting.
We
1832
sure
Frankfurt Avenue. That's opening up another addition to the corridor.
And I saw some of the pictures from their Friends and Family Day. Oh my God, it looks delicious. Delicious.
So that's where really, if you think about it, besides that would be the adjective that describes us in this show.
Delicious.
That's delicious.
I'm
Scrumptious.
sure everybody is waiting to get through the phone lines just to call Mark Scrumptious.
They actually literally have given me the title. I've not done this.
Oh,
His
of course.
Deliciousness.
His Deliciousness.
Yes. And with that, it's time for America's favorite game show. What's Mark wearing?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today?
And What is Mark Wearing is brought to you by Fabulous Fabrica for the best in entertainment and food and experience. Go visit Fabrica, Fabrika, in the fabulous Fishtown District. So every shirt, every piece of clothing always has a meaning. And today, of course, is an homage, really, to one of my favorite performers. You should know who this is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Matt's got some audio clues to fill the audience in. Go ahead, Matthew.
How's everybody? Good. Now, as your father probably told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. Now, let's get started by letting me give you a little bit of a scenario of what my life is all about. First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
That, of course, is the late, great Chris Farley, who was, of course, peppered all over my shirt. And I believe that character is actually here somewhere. There he is. Where later he goes on to say, "La de frickin' da."
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other ones in there, Matt?
Well, maybe I'm not the norm. I'm not camera friendly. I don't wear clothes that fit me. Frighten children and don't eat their own dandruff. And I'm not hygienic. I don't wipe properly. I lack style. I have no charisma or self-esteem. I don't own a toothbrush or let my scabs heal.
All right, well, and good morning to everybody. So,
of my body.
And we even have the lunch lady on there. So today is Chris Farley Day. Matthew, thank you for that. And I wanted
where the weight room is? I'll check it out.
And of course, I'm sure you got some Tommy Boy in there that will bring in. Do you have one more Tommy Boy before we go?
That was Tommy Boy.
Was that Tommy Boy?
You know where the weight room is? I'll check it out.
When they're at the hotel. Yeah.
See, I always think fat guy in a little coat.
Oh, I should have got that one.
Fat guy
That was a
in
good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. But I wanted to make sure the socks had a celebrity theme today.
Mm-hmm.
So this actor is sort of my spirit animal because he's nuts. We're talking about, of course, Nicolas Cage.
Why did I know it was going to be Nick
This
Cage?
is the Nicolas Cage, what would you call that? Collage. The Andy Warhol collage.
I was going to say, that's some like Andy Warhol
Yes.
pop art Nicolas Cage.
Love
sucks.
Nicolas Cage. And he's a little off. Hold on.
A little?
You really love him?
I just get a kick out of him. By the way, he has a movie out now called Pig. You must see it.
I can't watch him.
Oh, he's great.
I
He
don't
really
like
is.
his acting.
He's a gift to cinema.
Con Air was good. I don't know.
Put the bunny back in the box. I'll be here all week. We'll be right back with more infotainment on Find It at Fishtown Live here on WWDB 860 AM.
It's been part of Philly for over 10 years, so Rivers Casino Philadelphia knows how you like to play. With better odds, more playtime, an upgraded rewards program, plus a state-of-the-art sports book, great restaurants, and more. Everything that real players want, without the overpriced distractions. Rivers Casino Philadelphia is for those who play to win, not play to pay for some fancy new place. Rivers Casino Philadelphia, always on our game. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, it's important to take steps to help stop the spread. Follow 5 tips to help protect yourself and others. 1. Wear a mask. 2. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet apart from others. 3. Wash hands with soap and water. 4. If you have symptoms, stay home. 5. Get vaccinated as soon as you can. Together, we can help stop the spread.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anita Chandra with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Helmets are important for every bike ride, no matter how short. Did you know helmets are also important to wear when skateboarding, inline skating, or riding a scooter? A helmet can protect against a skull fracture or other facial injuries. Look for a helmet that fits correctly and that's certified for safety. Make sure you and your child wear a helmet every time. For more, visit healthychildren.org or talk with your pediatrician.
Hi, I'm Vivica Fox. For more than 100 years, American Humane has been rescuing animals during hurricanes, floods, and wildfires. But Mother Nature isn't the only danger animals face. Sometimes it's human nature. Every year, 6 million animals are abandoned and more than 1 million are euthanized. You can be a hero to animals in need of rescue and adoption at AmericanHumane.org.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy.
Welcome back, everybody. And yes, you're feeling it on this rainy day. Happy, happy, joy, joy from Finding the Fishtown Live. Here, brought to you by the fabulous Fishtown District for all things super fabulous. You get it. You get it. Awesome.
Find it in Fishtown.
Find it in Fishtown on here on WWDB 860 AM. I am Marc Kae with the Bert to my Ernie, Kay Anderson. Kay, we have a guest waiting.
We sure do.
Very patiently, mind you.
Yes.
So why don't you bring her on and let's get a little mindful.
Yeah. So our guest today is Stacey Mandel of Bubbles and Flashlights. Stacey is a mindfulness practitioner, and I'll let her explain a little bit more about exactly what that is because she does a lot of different things, both with youth as well as adults, but all in the practice of mindfulness.
Love
it. Stacey, welcome. Can you hear us?
Yes. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
I
sure can. Hear you perfect. Good morning.
Now, can you see me or you just hear me?
We see you too.
Great. Does everybody see me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
What a treat for America, right?
What a treat. So, hi. Thanks, guys.
Thank
so nice
you.
to be with you this morning. I'm so impressed with the sound here. It's like fun listening to you.
Well, thank
I had
you.
a smile on my face the whole time.
Oh, good, good. We hope to not put a frown on all of our listeners' faces, especially at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Because you never know what's going to come out of our mouths, Stacey.
No, and Marc has this smooth, like, hang out, laid back kind of vibe to his voice.
Well, thank you very much.
So two things real quick before we talk mindfulness. I have to just say, deep fried Italian hoagie egg roll.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I was listening to you guys and I wrote that down. And so that's on my mind.
Yes. Well, go to Chew Noodle Bar and you can get it.
Yeah. So that's down the street from me.
That's why we planned it.
Yep.
Deep fried Italian hoagie egg roll. And then Mark, Nicolas Cage is
Yes.
one of my favorite.
See? Thank you. See? You're my favorite guest now. Don't listen to these people.
I'll see anything, I'll do anything just because of the words Nicolas Cage. And I'll also say Face Off.
Wasn't that a fun movie?
If you haven't seen Face Off, I mean, I think everyone has, but
It's-
and John Travolta, who's also another.
Yep. But I'm going to treat yourself. This is on demand. It's called Pig.
I got it.
Did you see it?
No, I wrote it down.
It's actually, if I tell you the plot, you'll think it's not good. Just trust me, it's good, and he's awesome in it.
If Nicolas Cage is in it, I trust it.
America, I think you're really, really getting a gift this morning. And she's not even gotten into the mindful stuff yet.
This is the thing. This does connect, believe it or not.
Oh, ha ha ha.
You said
Take that, Kay.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing here too. I'm a professional radio AM
That's right.
show DJ. All right. So Nicolas Cage, you said, is a little off. I heard you say that.
Yes.
Something like that, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate a little more on that? Like, what do you?
He marches to, I think he has his own, he marches to his own, the beat of his own drum. He's quirky. I think when he approaches things, at least from his roles, he sees it from angles that would not be the norm.
Okay.
I would never say that he's nuts or anything like that, but I just think he's different, and I embrace different. Ha 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 ha. Okay.
So, connecting to mindfulness. All right, taking a little mindful moment here. Like I think we've all heard this word ad nauseum. It's like, on every magazine cover, and it's just a word though, right? And words are pretty limiting. This particular word, if you look it up, if you Google it, you're going to find a bunch of different definitions, depending on who's defining it, what the source is, and also what the context is. But we all have this in us. We all know what it is. We all don't need the word mindfulness and suddenly like something to do to actually tell us how to be mindful. However, in our crazy busy lives that we're leading, and in our cultures, our different cultures, we do sometimes, or maybe often, depending on what we've got going on, need reminders. We need to remember. We need to return. We need to come back to what's already inside us and what we already know and what is our truth. So Nick Cage, like when you said, different angles, perspective is a little bit different, maybe brings something unique, stands out a little bit. I call what I do mindfulness and beyond. Like that's my tagline, because the mindfulness in itself is just a simple way of practicing being here now in a curious, kind way. So we can take in stimuli around us, stimuli that's going on inside of us, and we can meet it and be open to it, and we can use it. That's kind of what mindfulness is, although you won't find that definition. If you Google it, you're going to find a million definitions, but that's like how I like to define it. But the beyond part is like the Nicolas Cage to me. It's like we use that practice to then be able to really see or notice or hear or feel our words and our actions. And when we come home to the real truth, all the other stories, the conditioning, the beliefs, the layers that we've accumulated in our lives, everything that's going on around us, the media, what have you, that can be included, but that's not the main guide.
So what led you to this as a career path? Because it's certainly an interesting one. It's certainly one where, and I mean that sincerely, like it's, Kay and I are sort of just listening, taking all of this in. and probably realizing that I'm not very mindful. But no, but what led you to this?
Yeah, and I'm not either naturally, and that's what led me to it. So I had dabbled in meditation, which is different than mindfulness. So mindfulness is like an umbrella, and then meditation is like one of the raindrops under the umbrella. But there's lots of raindrops. So people always think mindfulness is meditation. Not necessarily. But anyway, I dabbled in meditation in my early 20s when I lived in Los Angeles, and I was living with like 4 guy friends, and they were just reading all kinds of books and just exploring the world. And we'd go to some Zen retreat centers, which Zen is like you go and you sit on a cushion and there's no talking, it's silent, there's no teaching, you just sit. And then there are periods when you get up and you do that, but you walk, and they alternate. So I was like, I kind of like this, but I didn't really know why. It was just really different from anything that I'd been exposed to in my life. And by the way, I'll just preface it by saying I was a very difficult kid. I was always in and out of therapy. I was extremely oppositional defiant. I did really well in school. I did really well with anything on paper. I knew how to play the game. I could achieve, really well. But on the inside, I was a bit of a mess on the inside. So maybe that was part of it somehow. But I really liked this meditation out there. And then from there, I kind of bounced around to different things to try. I started working with a Hindu yoga teacher who gave me a mantra to meditate with. And I did that for a while. Still didn't really know what it was about and didn't really understand it, but I liked it. And then life got really busy. I moved back to the East Coast, dating, kids, family, career, kids and career at the same time. And I kept trying to come back to it because I knew that I really liked it and I felt like it was good for me. I was diagnosed with ADHD as an adult. Not that really matters, except just to let you know that I was kind of all over the place. Time management, focus, projects, sleep. I would not go to sleep. And I couldn't actually practice the meditation because of that. So I would sign up for a class at Penn, where it's an 8-week structure and they say you have to meditate every day. You're going to be expected, sign this line saying you're going to meditate for 40 minutes every day. And I would join these classes, but being like, yes, now I have a reason. I'll have to set my alarm. I'll have to go to bed. I'll have to fit it in. And every day would come and go, and I'd never do it. And the teacher would say, Stacey, just do 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And I'd be like, yes, I can do that. The day would come and go, and I wouldn't even remember to fit 2 minutes in. So eventually, I got to a place where the lack of foundation, my all over the place-ness, the lack of sleep, my work, and taking care of my kids when they were really little and trying to manage all the childcare demands before and after my work, all that stress that we all face stress every day, but I wasn't fortified for it. I didn't have a healthy way of processing the stress, and I came undone. And I don't know if it was depression exactly, if it was schizophrenia or bipolar, or different people have given me different quote unquote diagnoses, but I just felt like suddenly, and I had hints of this for a while, but I was like, you know what? I'm not fit. I felt like I'm not fit to be with everybody else. I'm not fit to be a mom. I didn't want my kids to see me that way. I was getting up and I was doing everything on the outside. Everything looked good. But on the inside, I was scared to death and miserable and just really freaked out. And my colleagues at work said, why don't you take a leave, take a medical leave, and you can come back, take care of yourself. I was also taking care of my daughter at the time who was having some physical stuff. And I was just really stressed. And when I took that leave, which was hard for me to take, I decided, let me try mindfulness and meditation again, because the research, the evidence base for from mindfulness practice, including meditation, specifically for ADHD and depression and anxiety, is so strong. And I didn't want to, I mean, am I talking too long? Because I could take.
No, you're doing great. We're listening. You're very riveting.
Well, just thank you. Just I didn't want to take meds. I had dabbled in meds on and off in my life and never really noticed anything. When I talked to a psychiatrist office at this time, because I was getting really scared, and I thought, all right, fine, put me on all the meds, lock me away. You know, they explain the way they work, and a psychiatrist is going to basically meet with you for an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm going to talk. They'll diagnose me. They'll put me on meds, and then I'll come back once a month for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll talk, and they'll tweak my meds as needed. And I just felt like, like that's not gonna do it for me. Like, it's just, I could, depending on what I want to talk about, I could spin it any old way, and it depends on what's on my mind that day. And sometimes I don't even know what I want to come out of my mouth, what I want to let out of my mouth. And I just had this feeling about the meds, like maybe they would help me not feel like I'm gonna, go loony. They might contain me, but is that really me? Is it going to be me? And who am I? Like, who am I? Why am I here? And I was interested in, like, why am I struggling? Like, why am I suffering? I really was like, why does everybody else seem like they're doing it? And why do I have this, why is everything so intense for me and so difficult? So I decided to go back to meditation and mindfulness, and I was not working. And that is the only reason probably why I could do it. I happened to bump into someone who told me about some amazing teacher who was a gem, like one of these rare gifts that doesn't usually work with like beginnerish level people. And that I should sign up for his class. Even though I'd taken meditation and mindfulness classes for a while, I was like, I don't care, I'll sign up as a beginner again. And I sat in his class, and the first class I was in, I just knew this was gonna be totally different. And this teacher is more of an awakening path teacher. So he teaches mindfulness at the beginning, but really it's a means to awakening. And I'm still with him, and I'll be forever with him and his group for life. But that's sort of how I got here. But then, okay, so then the second part is just when I needed to go back to my job, and I was teaching, by the way, this was elementary school teaching. Mm-hmm. So I've been teaching and coaching teachers, and it's been on both sides of the country, urban, suburban, public, private schools for almost 20 years at this point. And my last position was in Upper Merion School District. The therapist and the school district started to kind of put the pressure on, saying, are you coming back? When are you coming back? How are you coming back? After 3 or 4 months, I was actually in such a different place. The healing and the regulation that I got from the mindfulness and meditation practice, and from being able to practice it regularly, it was so deep and so significant that the therapist was like, what do you want me to say? Because you really are totally different. You could go back. But I knew that I didn't have like the regular habit in place. Like, I need more than a few months. My brain, my Stacey way, I need more than a few months of doing something for it to really be a new way, for it to be a habit. And then also I thought, you know what? This is what I needed. This is what I needed that I never got. If I had gotten this earlier, if I had gotten this when I was a kid, if someone had explained something to me in a kid appropriate way, instead of me like finding it in my 20s and going to a Zen center where I'm sitting there and I have no idea what I'm doing, just sitting in silence for hours and hours. But if someone had taught this to me and explained the concepts and then said, you don't have to practice for 40 minutes every day. And in fact, you don't even have to meditate to be mindful. I would have had a whole different path. And I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to be that person who shares that with other people. And I want to teach this to kids in particular.
Just having said that, and that's so interesting. So if someone like myself comes in, what are I guess, what would you want to know about me? And obviously why I'm there. And what are some of the techniques that you've been talking about, even that work for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd be welcome. I'd open the space for you if you wanted to share anything about yourself. But the fact that you're human, and that I'm human, so how I've trained and what I've learned, these are concepts that apply to every single human being just because of the way that we're designed. So just the way that our brains are designed, the way our bodies are designed, the way that we take in stimuli, the way that we take in stress, whether it's positive stress or negative stress related to any challenge, whether the challenge is just getting up out of bed in the morning, or someone in our immediate circle is very ill, and we're having to navigate care for that person, whether it's work challenge, whether it's we have an opportunity to interview for something. We all take it in, we all take it in the same way, either one of two ways. Either the regular, it comes in and we react with a fight, flight, freeze shade of reaction, which is another topic for another day. You might not literally be fighting or flighting, but there's all kinds of shades of that. Basically, it's just an automatic, habitual way of reacting that most of us are in that default mode of. But then we can take it in another way, and that's with this word called mindfulness, which is, again, just a word, just a label. But basically, if we can learn how to take in and to appraise the stimuli in a non-judgmental, curious manner, where we can include it, let it be there, but we're not reacting, we're really watching and observing it and using it, we can have a whole different way of acting and behaving, which is more of a response versus a reaction. So we're the same in that way. But stuff will come out as we hung out, you and I, stuff will come out. You would tell me personal stuff. I would tell you personal stuff maybe. And we'd use that to guide us. So it'd be really organic, really relevant, like whatever you need in the moment. The past is maybe not that important, or it could be. The why, analyzing it. I don't know, some people want to get into that, but that could take over. I'm more about what can we do right here and now? How can we train ourselves? How can we use our equipment? How can we use the technology that's inside us like a superpower, so that we can be human, but we can be superhuman? We're always going to be human. So you asked about like particular techniques. I mean, I call myself Bubbles and Flashlights. I call my company. It's kind of weird to call it a company because it's not really a company. It's like me sitting here, in my kitchen. But Bubbles and Flashlights, because I like to use fun stuff like bubbles, flashlights. I love to use music. I love to use toys, food. That's the teacher in me. I think that's the elementary school teacher in me, not because it's childlike, like in a baby way, but it's more like it's playful. And like also when you're a teacher, you like to use tangible, concrete things so that you can remember stuff, so things make sense, metaphors. When you're just talking about theory, it's great to learn that. But if you don't actually if you don't practice something, if you don't put your hands on something, if you don't read something, if you don't experience something, it's not going to saturate and you'll forget about it in an hour.
So what is the actual practice of mindfulness outside of just meditation or, sitting somewhere and thinking and being quiet with your thoughts? What does that actually look like? Like, what's that tangible thing?
Great question. I'm going to give you the broad thing again, because it can look different for everybody. And I don't want someone to come away from this show thinking, oh, that's what it is. It's any way of paying attention to here and now. So noticing if you are here, like where is your attention? Because usually we're not here. We may be partially here, but we're partially somewhere else. And are you now with it? So are you in this moment? Or are you in the past a little bit? Maybe you're on to the next thing. So just let's sit for a moment, see if you can just kind of pay attention to this moment. And you can't do that forever. You can't do it forever. It's impossible. So it's training yourself to be able to do that more frequently, little glimpses, and even for longer periods. And then also when you do that over and over again, you start to notice when you're not present here and now. And like I said at the very beginning, this isn't rocket science. This is simple. It's just not easy. So we just need reminders. We just need to remember to return. So what I offer people is a way to figure out how can you remember? How can you notice when you're not here and now and to return? And what can you use to help you to return? So one thing that's helpful for people is to have some type of anchor, for example. So you might hear about the breath and people using the breath, or they might use a mantra, or they might use the feeling of their seat, or they might use music. Some people use jogging. Not everybody uses jogging. Some people just jog, which is it might not be mindful. But you can use the rhythm of your body. You can use the feeling of the breeze against your face and your hair as you're running through the streets. You can use the feel of yourself pounding on the pavement if you train a certain way. So you can train to create something for you to be able to return. And then the other part of the definition is you're paying attention here and now with kindness and curiosity. So kindness means, can you learn to meet what's in this moment? Even if it's something you can't stand and you hate. If it's dangerous, if it's life-threatening, you need to react immediately. You're not going to meet it and be like, oh, this is cool. Let me hang out for a while. No, you're going to take care of yourself because you're not going to die.
Right.
And this gets back to brain science, which is why a lot of us are reacting, because we think everything is kind of like going to make us die. But can you learn to meet it with practice, with mindfulness practice? You can even learn how to greet the moment. And you can even, when you get pretty practiced, you can even welcome. Again, not life-threatening stuff.
Right.
And then the curiosity part is also, can you do all this being interested in a way where you don't already know everything? Because we typically know, right? We're like, oh, I already know what I want to say to you right now as I'm listening to you. Or I've already tried that food. These deep fried Italian hoagie rolls, I know I love them. So
Hey, Stacey, I don't mean to interrupt because it's just fascinating. We literally have 20 seconds left. And I want everybody to have an opportunity to know where they can find you, find out more about you, and contact you.
Yep. So bubblesandflashlights.com is my website, which I'm in the process of redoing. Always. Kay knows that. But bubblesandflashlights.com. And if you go on there, you'll find out more about me and what I've done and what I can maybe do with you. And also there's a way to sign up for my newsletter, my email newsletter, and I can add you to that and keep you aware of things that are going on. And because I'm new to Fishtown, just moved here within the year, I'm looking for ways to bring more mindfulness into the Fishtown community. I have a few spaces, just working out the details, but some pop-up and maybe some regular mindfulness sessions open to all.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Stacey. We always appreciate hearing from you and learning more about mindfulness. The last question I always ask all of our guests is, where are your favorite places to go in the Fishtown district? And we only have about 5 seconds left, so rattle them off.
I would say I love Front Street Cafe. So incredible to have that cafe here in our neighborhood. Like, you go to other neighborhoods and you don't always find that. Cafe Tacos. That's where my kids work, and it's reliable and it's fast and it's easy. Palmer Park. Just anything goes in Palmer Park. It's like just this hidden gem. And I feel like we all need to, come on out on Saturday sweeps, Saturday mornings at around 9:30, and help take care of it. Spend an hour helping to sweep and rake.
Absolutely. And this has been Find It in Fishtown Live with your hosts, Kae Anderson and Marc Kae.
Okay, great job, Stacey. Thank you, Matt. Wonderful
Thanks,
job.
guys.
See you next week.
Bye.